Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another Late Night Thoughts. So today, as you can see in the title, I'm talking about Cobra Kai. So we recently got the finale of the series, the third part of the sixth season, which was the last 5 episodes. And to me, it was one of the best endings we've ever gotten to any series at least that I've watched. It was a phenomenal ending. Whatever you think of the show, of its quality throughout, I think it cannot be denied that it really wrapped up all of the storylines kind of perfectly. It addressed everything. It had so many great payoffs, so many emotional moments, and it was just a phenomenal ending to an amazing series that I've loved since I first discovered it. I discovered it around about its second or third season, and since then it's just been one of my absolute favorites. But today is not a review of Cobra Kai. Instead, today I want to talk about the greater kind of ramifications, if you will, of the series in terms of the kind of precedent that it sets for other shows and other properties and what they can learn from Cobra Kai. So for those who haven't seen the series, it's a continuation of the Karate Kid film series, which has now kind of flipped the script a little, where the bad guy from the first movie, Johnny Lawrence, is now sort of the protagonist, and he's a foil against the main guy, Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio. And so they kind of butt heads throughout the series, but Johnny's kind of on this redemption arc because he's down in the dumps when we discover him in the first season, but through karate he finds his way back into life and rebuilding relationships with people, his family all over again, and all sorts of stuff, and it's all through karate. So the thing about the show is that what it's done that really is mind-blowing compared to many other major properties these days is that it honors the past whilst building great things in the future and bringing them together beautifully. And what I mean by that is that you have these legacy characters like Johnny Lawrence, like Daniel LaRusso, even referencing to Mr. Miyagi and John Kreese, Terry Silver, all these characters that come back from the original films. They are all honored so well and done such great justice in fleshing them out and giving them so much more three-dimensional characters compared to the movies. The movies are great, but this just gets the chance to expand on them altogether. But then at the same time as those legacy characters, you have these new characters, predominantly these students who are being taught karate by the legacy characters, and they're getting developed as well, and they're kind of being brought up as the karate kids for this new generation. And we get the interactions between them, their interactions with the teachers, all of that meshed together, and it makes for this great relationship that you get to see of this kind of passing of the mantle while still honoring the legacy characters that we loved and the ones who are drawing us to the show to begin with. And so when I think about the show, and especially when I think about it in regards to other properties like Star Wars and Marvel and Lord of the Rings and all these massive properties that have just completely failed at honoring their legacy. They've completely diminished their legacy characters and instead tried to focus on propping up their newer ones, their newer, younger ones, and they've really tarnished the image and the memory of those great characters, particularly with Star Wars. We look at the way they handled Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, characters like that. They were just absolutely mistreated, and for whatever reason, and at the same time, the characters that they were bringing up underneath them were just nowhere near as interesting to kind of replace them. So to me, when I look at Cobra Kai, it's really set this amazing template for what these other properties can look at to see how to do it correctly going forward. We know that the studios are obsessed with these massive IPs, with dragging these massive IPs out for their 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th entry, whatever it is, turning them into TV series, all of that. They want to do all of them with them and make them these massive film universes. Great, fine. You want to do that? You got to do it right. You got to honor the past whilst building on the future. And so Cobra Kai has really created this amazing template that they can look at and be, that's the route to success. This is how we do it. We have to, when we bring back legacy characters who have been away for 30, 40 years, we have to treat them as though we haven't seen them for 30, 40 years. We need to get to know them and fall in love with them all over again. We can't just take it for granted that the audience knows who they are and they can just be a one-trick pony whilst we keep them in the background and promote these new characters. No, we need them all to come together, and that is the way you can successfully and properly pass the baton on to the new generation. You can't just hand it to them whilst the ones that everyone else wants to see are just standing there in the background doing nothing. Cannot be done that way. It needs to be done naturally, and it needs to be done in a respectful way that acknowledges how important these characters are to us and why we love these franchises to begin with. it's the crazy thing to me that what they did with these massive franchises and how they have failed to honor the legacy of the characters that they have, that we came to beloved. So to me, Cobra Kai has just come along out of nowhere. This show has no business being as good as it is, and it just came out of nowhere. Firstly, as a YouTube show, then it was YouTube Premium. Then it got brought over to Netflix and completed its run there. 6 seasons, and they were fantastic. They had it was a roller coaster. You had some ups and downs, but for the most part, the show was amazing, and it definitely wrapped it all up perfectly. And so this right here, this show, they should all be looking at it as the template. This is how you handle legacy characters. This is how you honor them, and this is how you do franchises correctly, particularly when you're bringing them back from the grave after decades and decades of being dormant. So I just wanted to talk about that now, just because I'm currently rewatching the series after the phenomenal ending that I had. I'm now going back and rewatching and just reminding myself of how great it was from the get-go. The first season is still the best. It's phenomenal, but the show just really maintained a great quality throughout and just gets more and more fun, gets absurd at times, corny, it has all of that, but it's really wholesome and has a big heart in it. And I love the show so much, and just enjoying this watch through again. So yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on this one with you guys, and I want to hear your thoughts too. What did you think? If you've watched Cobra Kai, did you get this kind of same impression as me, that this is the right way to do it? This is the best kind of handling of an IP decades later that you've seen? I can't think of a better example of one that's been brought back from the grave. You could argue like a Top Gun Maverick, but that's hardly a franchise. It's only a second movie, but that was a really great sequel to the first film. But this here, you've got this really fleshed out series that has no business being as good as it is. And Cobra Kai is phenomenal. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is great. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. I just wanted to share those with you. I hope you enjoyed them. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of Cobra Kai? Do you think I've made some good points here? I want to hear some counter arguments. All of that, I want to hear it all down below. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.